And there it is. Just connection wires. This is for the AC to flow through. And yep. Let's have the pry tool and a bunch of other connectors along with a USB-C adapter. And here are the wires we need.
You'll also need a T20 screwdriver. I'm going to go over the steps to actually install this screen. First step is to remove the old air vent. Make sure you have a firm grip on both sides and just pull. Next step is to remove the power cable. You'll need both hands to release the clip and pull it out. Use the pry tool from the box to remove this bottom cover. It'll expose another set of wires and we'll connect that later. Now taking your T20 screwdriver, you want to remove these two screws. It will allow us to remove that top panel. To remove it, make sure you have a firm grip on both sides and slowly pull on the edges and make your way up. It should just pop out. In order to control the front passenger seat from our rear screen, we first need to access the control panel. There will be a two-way adapter that will plug in here, and it will allow us to control the seat from this control panel and also from the rear screen. Here's a screw that we need to remove. I recommend moving your seat forward and up so you can easily access the screw. Take your T20 screwdriver and unscrew it. There's another clip holding this panel in place, so you can go ahead and just pop it off. Then unplug the wire from the control panel. Now grab the wire from the rear screen and run it through under your seat. Make sure it doesn't get caught up in anything. The wire we just ran through should have two plugs. Take the wire that we unplugged from the control panel and plug it into one of the wires. Then plug the other wire directly into the control panel. Tuck the wire away and push the panel back into its clip. And now put the T-screw back in its place. Before moving on to the next step, make sure you test the controls here. We want to make sure that everything works and everything's plugged in correctly. We're going to now plug in the rest of the wires, so unplug this blue wire and plug the wire from the screen in its place. Take the blue wire that we unplugged and plug it into the other clip. Alright, we're going to plug in the last wire. Before we put everything back together, let's make sure the screen works. Test turning on and off the AC. Test the heated seats. And test moving the front passenger seats forward and backwards. Next, we want to put back the top panel. Tuck in the wires, line up the clips, and push. Now screw it back in. Now we want to install the bottom panel. So tuck in the wires and again, just push it in. Last but not least, we're going to put in the rear screen. There are two clips on each side. Make sure you line them up and push the screen right on in. The screen is now installed. Now let's go over the features. Passengers can now turn on and off the AC, control the fan speed, and change the temperature. Let's say you need to move the front passenger seat forward, either for more storage, installing a car seat, or for whatever reason. You can now do that from the rear screen. You can also recline that front seat. The best feature in my opinion is that passengers can now turn on and off their heated seats. They no longer have to ask the driver to do it for them, which can be distracting. You can also connect the rear screen to the internet. I'm going to connect it to my phone's hotspot. To have audio from the rear screen play from the car speakers, all you have to do is connect it to the Bluetooth. Just like that, you can now watch YouTube videos from the rear screen. There's also Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+. This is essentially an Android device, so you can download any app from the Google Play Store. There's also a web browser, so passengers can hop on the internet. This can be pretty useful if you need them to look up any restaurants or stores nearby. Just like the Tesla, the rear screen has over-the-air updates, so you can keep your car, and the screen up to date with the latest tech. Last but not least, you still have your two USB ports, one being a normal charger and one being a fast charger. And you still have air vents, although it is smaller than the original size. But given all these cool features, I think it's worth the trade-off. Overall, I think this is a great product. It'll keep your passengers entertained, and if you have kids, it'll keep them distracted during those long road trips. The biggest pro for me is that the passengers can now control their own AC and heated seats, so they no longer have to bother me while I'm driving. The installation process was relatively easy. I would say it would take the average person about 30 minutes to do.